It's the 8 for 52 podcast.
Season 2, Episode 1.
We're back, baby.
We're back and I'm going.
What? Hang on. What? Where are you going?
This is my final episode, Bushy.
It's Botters and Bushy. How can you be leaving?
Botters and Bushy is no more.
What am I going to do?
The opening partnership has been broken.
Oh, my goodness. We lasted 37 episodes and you're going to go leave me for something better.
I'm on a plane to Sydney, my friend.
Oh, dear.
Gone.
What were you going to do then?
Gone. Early next week. Botfield family.
Well,
Hong Kong no more.
I'm going to have to find something else and somebody else to help me host this. We'll figure that out next week. So this is the big finale for you.
This is the finale, sadly.
Oh, it's very sad.
Before I go on,
honestly,
mate, I just want to say thank you. It's been an absolute blast.
I want to say thank you because this was your idea, completely out of nowhere. Last year you messaged me and said, Hong Kong needs a cricket podcast. And I've gone, does it really? And he's like, yes, it does, you said. You said, yes, we should do it. And I think I was talking to your wife and she said, yes, you should do it.
Well, no, and it goes a little bit deeper than that because I had the original idea. You were lukewarm, then very excited. Then I got lukewarm and
you got very lukewarm
and decided that it was a bad idea. And then Mrs. Botters stepped in and said,
do it.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yeah.
It'll work.
It's exactly what you want to do.
But, mate, it's been a great partnership. It really has. A great opening partnership. And I know you're going to kick it on. And we've got ideas about... I'm staying involved.
You are? You were still the boss.
Side. Yeah, still here. But
tell me when I'm wrong.
Just can't do the recording every week.
This is sad news.
I'll make a few guest appearances. I'm not lost to Hong Kong.
Oh, you reckon you might get a... I mean, I'm in charge now. You reckon you're actually going to get a Guernsey if you ever come back to Hong Kong?
Well, I'll still be listening and editing, and when it all goes pear-shaped, I might have to get involved again.
So what you're telling me, I'll do 9, 10 episodes. It'll be a disaster.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I might step back in December. Anyway, this is not about me. I just wanted to announce we're leaving. We have got a massive episode coming up, Bushy.
It is
we
about
really
you.
do for my finale. Ravi Nagdev feature interview, which is going to come up straight after the intro.
Yeah, if you've been paying attention in season 1, we had Ravi on. He's the boss over at Cricket Hong Kong for operations. What are we talking about with Ravi?
The Sixers.
The Sixers are back.
The Sixers are back in November, and we've got a big spiel on that, including exclusives all the way through.
Oh.
Not just in the Sixers area, but in other international tournaments that are going on. Lots of exclusives, so stick to it. Stuff we had no idea about.
It's a huge interview, and it's coming up straight after this intro, so stick around. We've got a few other things to talk about while we sit here in a T3 on a Thursday at KCC. Typhoon Yagi off the coast, and a T8 coming tonight.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Anyway, T8's bloody...
Well, I want to get on that, because at the moment we're recording, we're sitting outside.
Yeah, but at least...
Sunshine.
If there's a bit of rain... At least the covers will be on everywhere.
Well, there you go.
It'll be great.
T8, the second they call T8, every single cricket ground in Hong Kong has to take the covers off.
It's just unbelievable.
So all the pitches for the weekend that have been beautifully manicured here at KCC, Amanat's got pitch ready for Saturday and Sunday. It's got to have the covers off as the rain bands come through. And unless it goes crazy, I don't know why we're on T8.
Well, neither do I, and don't get me started on it. It's absolutely ridiculous, but let's just hope.
I mean, it's not
going to be much.
We're recording on Thursday, and if this goes out on Friday and Hong Kong's half destroyed, we're going to sound stupid.
Well, I don't want Hong Kong to be half destroyed, but I would like a little bit of damage, at least so the T8 was worthwhile.
Well, like usual for a T8, it's blowing a gale on a rock down there in the south of Hong Kong called Waglan Island. Population 0. That's why we get a T8.
Anyway, enough about the weather. We'll cover ins and outs later. We've got outs and ins also as well. But most importantly, in conjunction with my departure, the 8 for 52 podcast will continue. But our Instagram account, Bushy, is going to change. Or has changed already.
Yeah, you just wouldn't give me access to the old one. So I've started a new one.
I've got very complicated. I'm not very good. I'm good at talking. I'm not very good at playing with computers.
100% true. I know that personally. So the new podcast Instagram, where please come across and follow. We've got 18 followers and we haven't posted anything yet, so that's good.
We've got thousands on the other one. We need to get everyone across to the new one, which is 8, the number 8.
Yes.
4, F-O-U-R.
No, it's not F-O-U-R.
Isn't it? It's a number 4.
It's F-O-R, 8 for 52, like the name of the podcast.
Oh, not 4, the number. Just
no.
The 4.
So, okay, let's start this again, because that's terrible.
The number 8.
Yes.
F-O-R. 52 podcast.
All one word, 8 for 52 podcast on Instagram. I'll be posting from there starting tomorrow.
Easy as. Outs and ins coming up, ins and outs. As I mentioned, big matches this weekend. We'll cover that. Sky Plaza Road. We'll have a good Sky Plaza Road.
Well,
Hong Kong down to Malaysia. at the moment.
Plenty to talk about in internationals. Yep.
Absolutely. Now, but one thing I do want to touch on, Bushy,
Go on.
is I always get a bit excited around this time of year around player transfers between clubs. And are you aware of any?
I am the proud holder of the official transfer lists over the off-season
Is
in
that
my
right?
pretty little hands.
Is that
And I can
right?
read it through to you now. Now, you've heard some of them on Instagram already, so just listen. What I will say to start with, whoever's got the credit card at India Club, if they want to sponsor the podcast, please come along, because the amount of transfers to India Club this season is ridiculous.
Well, I'm sick of recording at Cowland Cricket Club, to be honest. No, I'll never get sick of recording at Cowland Cricket Club, but I tell you what, happy to go around to India Club
Well,
and do some recording around there if there's
I'll
a bit
be
of
happy
cash flowing
because,
in.
as we just mentioned, you're leaving, but I will
Yeah.
go around to India Club.
I'll be
Anyway,
back.
India Club,
Player transfers.
yes, men's Saturday and Sunday. Shelton de Cruz,
Yeah, Shelton J. Da Cruz.
yes.
Umpire, player extraordinaire.
Was it Diasqua Little Saiwan?
Of course. He's died in the wall, LSW.
Transfer to India Club.
Oh, my goodness. He's off to India Club.
Bodhi Gua, also from Little Saiwan.
Big hitter up top of the order.
India Club.
Really?
Really? Oh, the youngster, Shihad. I think the little wrist spinner.
Yeah.
He's going from Diasqua Little Saiwan to Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Well, he's gone up the hill.
Zar
Good on
Khan,
him.
also from little Diasqua Little Saiwan. They're losing players
This is-
everywhere here.
This is, LSW relegated as far as Sunday is concerned. We were wondering who's going to go in the
Answer is everybody.
off season.
So Zar Khan's off to USRC.
Right.
Hassan Muhammad Khan from Pakistan Association
Yeah,
Cricket
yeah,
Club.
yeah.
He's off to USRC.
No. Really? I mean, he was in the international setup just 12 months ago.
Rana Shoaib, who was at
Yeah.
Pakistan Association Cricket Club,
Yeah.
off to USRC.
Okay, so they're rebuilding as well.
You know this one from India Club, Usman Manj.
Yeah, he's come across to Cowland Cricket Club, returning to Cowland Cricket Club after 8 years or so.
Asad Rashid at USRC is moving to Little Saiwan.
Okay.
Farhad Hyatt, USRC,
Yeah.
now plays for KCC.
Cowland Cricket Club.
Yep, saw him in the warm-up games. From KCC, Niaz Ali,
Yeah. India Club.
India Club.
Yeah. So
Hamza,
that's a big loss for the Infidels. Yeah.
Hamza Jawad from
Yeah.
KCC,
Yeah.
USRC.
No.
Yep, true.
Hamza across the USRC.
Correct.
Wow.
Also from KCC, Tarek Kathari.
Chico.
GK's going to Little Saiwan.
Yeah, he'll still be drinking at KCC.
And he's going to the Sky Warriors over there.
Lovely meals here with his family, I'm sure.
Maya Patel from Kaitak is going to HKCC. And Chris Ryan, I don't know if that's Chris Ryan from Kaitak.
Yeah. Chris Ryan.
That's
yeah.
in my the type.
Chris Ryan.
He's going to Lama.
Oh, right.
Big hitter.
Well, the boys are Lama.
All right, run through the women's transfers. Fatima Amir from Craigenggower to Link Centre. Manor Kasim from Craigenggower to Link Centre. Rani Suman from Little Saiwan to Link Centre. Yawa Fatima from Little Saiwan to Link Centre. Godiva Lee is leaving KCC and heading to Craigenggower. And Emily Dose from SCC is going to HKCC.
Wow, so a lot of additions for Link Centre and the ladies there, and a couple of big moves. I mean, what about Imran? He wasn't on your list. He's USRC to India Club, isn't he? On the coaching front.
My spy tells me not approved by United Services Recreation Club yet.
Oh, okay, so that's not official as yet. I'm sure I read it on
Now-
social media.
Now, I've made that and built that up big, but the transfer paper was only put in on Wednesday.
All right, okay.
So
Okay.
it will be approved.
Okay.
And he is going to India Club.
Okay,
I've
okay.
talked to him himself. I actually asked him, who are you going to play for in the Premier League? And he said, I don't know. He was very cagey. Wouldn't tell me.
Aren't India Club linked to USRC in the Premier League?
I've been
Or the-
told off the record by someone that the only club Imran can play for is Pakistan,
Oh, okay.
according to the rules.
All right.
And he just played for India Club against Pakistan.
I thought Pakistan Association and USRC can call up any players non-aligned with any of the LSWs, KCC or HKCCs. But I stand corrected on all that. I'm
Well,
not the
I
expert.
don't know, but I mean, also USRC might be a little salty after losing their head coach
Yeah,
going
sure.
across to India Club. Do they want to put him in the Premier League? We'll find out when Premier League starts in November.
Looking forward to that.
There you go. There's all the huge transfer news.
All right, let's get on with the main feature interview. Mr. Ravi Nagdev coming up next.
Hi, I am Babar Hayad. I am a Hong Kong national player, and you are listening to 8 for 52 podcast with Borders and Bushy.
All right, now it's time for the much anticipated feature interview. For the second time, we've got Mr. Ravi Nagdev, the head of operations of Cricket Hong Kong China, with us. Welcome back, Ravi.
Thank you very much.
Mate, you might be the busiest man in the SAR at this point in time.
Well, I hope not, but it's definitely been very, very busy.
Last time you had us, we had you on last season, you mentioned that you were hopeful of getting the Sixers, the legendary tournament from Hong Kong, back up and running. Congratulations,
The Sixers are back!
You've done so.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's definitely something that we've been working on for the last couple of years. Actually, a lot before the podcast aired the last time when I was on this, and I think it's not over yet. We still have a few more hurdles to get past, but I think we definitely will be having a fantastic tournament on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of November.
You know, we got 8 weeks from now.
Yeah, exactly.
No stress.
8 weeks, 24 hours a day. That's
Fantastic.
Not too much work. Yeah.
168 hours in a week.
A small little event that Cricket Hong Kong organizes regular.
So what's the plan? 16 teams, is it?
12 teams.
12 teams.
12 teams, 8 full member teams and 4 associate teams.
So all representing from a national perspective, 8 full members, 4 associates.
Yes.
All right, take us through the 12 of them.
Obviously, we have announced New Zealand. I can also say that in a couple of hours, Sri Lanka is going to be announced.
Oh, fantastic.
And on Monday, another full member will be announced.
Ooh.
So I can tell you that as well.
That'll
I cannot
be in
tell
next
you the
week's
names.
podcast.
We have to, we are working. And what's been great is the support that we have received from the full member boards. I mean, if you notice, yesterday's, Cricket New Zealand posted it, and they announced together collab with Cricket Hong Kong and the Hong Kong Sixers side that they are coming to Hong Kong. Similar, Sri Lanka Cricket today is collaborating with us, and they are, they are announcing that they are coming to Hong Kong, and the other boards are doing the same. So it's the overwhelming support that we have got from the world cricket community, and I think just shows the amount of warm goodwill that Sixers has built over the legacy that it has. And everyone we spoke to just have nothing but fond memories. Even people in the operations team, either they have played in the Sixers or they have seen the Sixers. And I think there's just so much uniqueness. And, it was the shortest form of the game, the premier short form before T20 existed. So I think that goodwill exists, and everybody is very happy to see it back.
So we've got New Zealand and Sri Lanka, so 6 other spots to fill on the full side.
You can count Hong Kong as well.
I was going to get but that's one of the 4.
They're one of the
4
4
associates.
yes.
So you've got 1 plus 3 on the associate side.
Yep.
That's absolutely tremendous. From a New Zealand perspective, can you give us a guide of the type of players that might be expected to come in?
We at the podcast are hoping a certain name or two might be appearing.
Can you give us any guide?
Unfortunately, I cannot. What we do have assurance. What we do have assurance from New Zealand cricket. I think it's going to be a very similar. I can say New Zealand cricket, Sri Lanka cricket, and other boards. It's going to be a very competitive team. They're going to be emerging players with maybe a combination of 1 or 2 players who have maybe recently left the game. That's all I will say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So 6 spots to fill. Australia, England.
Well, Australia's now playing
South
Scotland
Africa
at the moment, so they can.
Pakistan have won more 6s than anyone.
Wow.
5-time Sixers champions.
Yeah.
Pakistan and South Africa.
Yeah.
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 So between them, they've won 10 Sixers.
Yeah.
I know you're going to keep guessing, Botters. He's not going to tell us.
Yeah.
We've got to wait till Monday to find out the next team.
That's all right.
I can even tell you that we'll at least have 2 team announcements next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
So before episode
2.
2 of season 2,
Yes.
nearly half the spots will be filled.
Fantastic.
This is wonderful. This
It is.
absolutely wonderful.
Now, it's going to be at Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground. That's not usually the home of the Hong Kong Sixers. Can you walk us through that?
yes, it's a difficult decision. We all love having it at Kowloon Cricket Club. I think it's been a wonderful host, and it's a very difficult decision to make. I think what we had to look at is obviously we got the backing of the government for this event as well.
It's going to be a mega event, right?
It's going to be a mega event. It's full. It's backed by the government. We've needed to have a certain capacity. Also, in the next few weeks, our marketing campaign has just begun this week, and we will have a lot of news. We got a lot of partners. Hopefully, we'll have our broadcasters announced within this month itself. Title sponsor, and what you will start noticing with the announcements, and I hope you guys are liking the design and the logo design.
I love it,
and all
actually. We spoke about it just before we started this podcast, how good it is.
It was launched at the Cricket Hong Kong Awards that I was hosting. I got to see it, and it was fantastic.
No, I love it.
But even the announcement of the teams and all that is done with our partners, TCM, who have been tremendous, and I think brought a level of professionalism to organizing the event. And even with the corporate boxes that we will have, and the environment and the fan engagement that planning is there, we just needed a little bigger area. We needed area that will not take away from the playing area, and to be honest, even Ting Kong Road Recreation Ground is barely meeting the requirements.
Right.
We hope the successful event this year and in the next few years will convey and the government and show them the demand for cricket in Hong Kong, the demand for great high quality cricket experience that the Sixers can bring, and what we do need is a stadium.
Yep, drop-in pitch at Kai Tak Stadium opening next year. Coldplay can play, then we'll drop a pitch in there. That's what I reckon.
Yeah,
I like your thinking, Bushy.
And again, I'll throw one out there. This is my dream one day that we have floodlights, and why not have 16 teams, as you said?
Yeah.
We are only restricted because of the timing of the day. We don't have floodlit ground.
Yeah.
So if we had that, we can play more teams.
Across 3 days, 12 the maximum you can really cater for in playing time. Yeah.
You talked about TCM Sports Broadcasting. Can you tell us anything about where the Sixers are going to be broadcast yet?
I cannot officially say it, but I can tell you it's going to be the biggest broadcaster in the subcontinent is going to be covering it.
Wow.
So that's what. So no names, but you will hear it in the next couple of weeks.
I don't need to do any interviews for the next 4 or 5 weeks up into the leading up of the Sixers. It's just going to be breaking news of the Hong Kong Sixers.
No, Ravi, it's obviously heading exactly in the right direction. A lot of work from you and the team. It's absolutely wonderful. What about what can we expect Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground to look like when the Sixers are on? We're going to have temporary grandstands in there?
Yes, there'll be grandstands there. There'll be about stands for 2,800 people on one side. We'll have the big screen TV. We'll have a DJ playing. We'll have, obviously the scoreboard operators, with the interactive logos, replays, all that stuff. Basically, we'll have a bigger players area. They will have what we are trying to do is a players lounge for them. This obviously will be in the restricted players area, so they can chill out as well and hang out over there. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be great.
So for those of you who are listening, who remember the Blitz and the way Ting Kwong Road looked like during the Blitz, to me it sounds like similar to that but bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Similar to that, but nicer.
Yeah.
And as a couple of broadcasters that have spent lots of time at Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground and heading off to the softball ground for a feed, or there'll be F&B at the ground?
Yeah, of course they will.
So there we go. It's going to have all the facilities.
It'll have all the facilities. You will have your at both the sponsors side as well as the public side. There'll be catering stands. You can buy your drinks. You can buy your food. Buy some merchandise.
That's fantastic.
Someone better go and have a word to the lady at the softball ground, because I think she was expecting a big bonanza during those 3 days.
Too bad. Wait to Premier League and she'll get all the business again.
What about you mentioned the size of the ground. To take it to full scale, you need access to bigger facilities, and I know there's work going on in that regard, and hopefully that comes off in due course. Just for this event, though, for balls flying into the softball ground and the police station at the back, so extra netting.
So the government and LCSD, who the ground, they have actually added temporary nets for the event. So they have actually put there. We went there, and if you're going to go there play cricket, you'll see those poles planned to be put. So if you're going to Ting Kong Road this weekend playing cricket, just look at the area behind. They have got those poles up, which has not been put in place, but they're there, which is going to be put in by the end of
Well,
September.
it's great that the government's on
Brilliant.
board and LCSD. Of course, it's their ground and they're fully on board.
I think the government is showing support. They want to host events in Hong Kong. I think that's a mandate that is put there, and I think that's, Hong Kong is back. We all know it, and I think there's nothing, not a better message than having world class events in Hong Kong. So it's Coldplay or the Hong Kong Sixers.
I know which one
Great
I'd rather
events.
go
Yeah,
to. I'm at the Sixers every day of the week.
Yeah.
Both are great events, and we should go for both.
Maybe get Coldplay at the Sixers.
Oh,
What do you reckon?
Why don't you get Coldplay to play at the stadium while we drop the pitch in for the Sixers next season? That's just a tip. Just
You're
a
a
tip for
thinker, Bushy.
2025.
You're a
Great
thinker.
ideas for 25. I
Yeah.
think we can do that.
Maybe one step at a time. Maybe
Yeah, one step at a time.
Yeah,
Let's get this event out of the way.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's some other stuff happening in Cricket Hong Kong this season, isn't there, Bots?
Yeah, just on the domestic level, Ravi. I mean, just to wrap that up on the Sixers, congratulations. And, this is not the last time we're going to invite you back on the podcast this season, I can assure you. And
Looking
can't
forward
wait
to
for
coming
it.
back
And,
with hopefully more news and more information. Yeah.
yeah, and I'll be first in the queue to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it. Just on the domestic front, big season ahead. Kicked off last weekend.
Yeah, it's we with the Sixers that can actually become very all-consuming, and that's something which we at Cricket Hong Kong, China, have made sure we have teams in place. We have got our new domestic cricket manager Ravi Suchnani joining the team, and I think he's looking after everything domestic cricket. The leagues have started. The first games were on 1st of September, and I think the fixtures are out. We have a new app which got launched before we would like it, but it's out there.
What
The
happened
fixtures are
to
there.
What happened to Cricket HQ?
They took your money and ran because he used to pay them.
It's under maintenance. Apparently.
Yes, we've all seen the big
I
sign.
reckon, and it's a red hot competition. But I reckon Cricket HQ is the worst thing to come out of New Zealand.
Well,
I reckon it's the worst thing to come out of New Zealand.
To be fair, they, over the years, they've served Hong Kong cricket well. I mean, they've done the job. I think maybe we got a little bit lucky, and I know not many people will see it, that we actually were looking at developing our app, and we were hoping to launch it before the Sixers. So when this thing did happen, we quickly could jump into it.
well, that was the most polite thing they did at Cricket HQ was that they died on the off season.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
I mean, I don't know about any other competition in the world that's using Cricket HQ and lost all access, but at least ours was
Correct.
in the off season.
Yeah, but again, it was in the off season before the indoor league final, so that was a challenge. I know we had that. Again, we were not 100% ready, but we had to. So, to all those who are listening, the new Cricket Hong Kong app, which has all the fixtures, has all your personal profile links you can connect to if you wish, and all the details of Hong Kong cricket. You will see a little bugs there. You will see maybe the logos are not as perfect, but we are fixing them. We definitely wanted to launch this closer to the Sixers,
Great.
but because of we had to push it. But we are lucky that we at least had put in enough work in there that we could put out a product that kind of works rather than not have a product and everybody's moving back to book scoring for a few weeks. So we were that. Yeah.
You mentioned off-season before. I just want to touch on, there's a lot of activity in the off-season as far as into China, into mainland is concerned, Ravi.
Is there an off season? I don't know.
I never got an off season.
Sorry. Let me clarify. Whilst we weren't making any podcasts,
Yeah.
there was a lot of activity going
I was
on.
broadcasting at 7 a.m. this morning.
I said making podcasts. Whilst we weren't making podcasts, there was a lot of activity
So
on the mainland.
So I was doing this stats out there and amount of preparing for an event, one of the lunches tomorrow, and last season we had 1,400 recorded games under our platform played in Hong Kong. 1,400 games on our 6.5 grounds that we have in
Yeah.
Hong Kong is just phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, this
astonishing.
counts everything, the social games and everything, morning leagues and everything. But it's just, amount of games we are squeezing in is just, it's just been increasing rapidly. We touched 4,000 plus registered players that we have in Hong Kong. It's just showing the amount of growth that year on year we have. And I keep looking at 2019 when I joined and I saw the number of registered players was 1,300 and it's now over 4,000. It just shows that we are growing in the right direction.
Speaking of expanding, and I just touched on it as far as mainland tours in the off-season is concerned. There was a men's and a ladies team went away into the mainland,
That-
play tournaments across there.
4 teams. So we had the youth the under 19 men's and the women's team, as well as the men's and the women's senior sides going there playing in the tournament. The men won both of them. The women were runners up in 2 of them. I think it
was the first time I've ever watched a cricket game on Douyin.
With Chinese commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was watching the final.
I didn't know that.
I was watching it on Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok.
How good is that?
It's that. I mean, with cricket being an Olympic sport, that and China now really looking at cricket, seriously. I think that's growing rapidly. I can tell you they're planning. They want to push towards that. You guys heard a few months ago, they wanted to do an interprovincial competition. I think first steps of that will happen in a tournament in October at Hangzhou Stadium.
I was about to ask, is that pitch still up and running?
They're hosting tournaments.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're
hosting the Hangzhou tournament. After that, they're hosting a T20I internationals.
Is the Cricket Hong Kong China ground staff still in charge up there, or they've got their own
we
ground staff now?
We are supporting them. We do have our grounds as well, but definitely I think all I can say is Jashim will have a lot of miles going back and forth.
Fantastic.
To various grounds, and I can even share that it's not only that particular ground that is there. They are grounds, full international standard grounds, being developed in at least 4 other provinces in China, and
that's wonderful progress.
I want to do a dual language broadcast one day up there at Hangzhou. I'll do English and somebody else does.
Well, you better learn better English first before
Easy,
you do that,
Tiger.
Bushy.
So that's another, and we have now signed a MOU with China Cricket about playing more games with them, supporting their tournaments, supporting events with them. They are supporting events with us. They are supporting us with the Sixes as well.
Yeah.
They are introducing us to sponsors. We are there. They're doing what they can. We are doing what we can with events over there. We have signed with Shanghai and Shandong provinces as well. For exchanges, players coming down.
Yeah, are we going to see any of the China team playing in, say, the Dragons this season, or any of that?
Yes, you will see them playing in the Dragons. You will see a couple of players coming in the All-Stars, happening, women's All-Stars, that's happening in end of November. You will see the China women's team coming down in December. You can say along with Namibia and one other team. We can
I didn't
share
know about that one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Neither did I. We do now. It's great.
Podcast exclusive.
Apart from Sixes, we will be having 3 international tournaments in Hong Kong, which we do. One of them will be a women's tournament in the first week of December. We will have a one-day tournament in January and a T20I tournament in March.
The one-day tournament in January
is men's.
And is that part of the qualification?
No, that's a separate tournament that we will have.
Somewhere in December.
Challenge League with the Hong Kong's pool is in November in Uganda.
Correct.
That's the first one.
Yep.
And then you're saying we'll be hosting a tournament that's not Challenge League, but it's another
one. And we have also in line in 2025 to host another round of the ICC Challenge League. But we're still working out the dates and logistics with ICC. But we will be hosting one round of the Challenge League in Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometime next year.
Sometime next year.
So we've got the rights for 2025.
Yes.
So Uganda's the 24, we're 25.
So, from the 3 teams, from the 6 teams in that tournament, Hong Kong will host one round, Uganda will host one round, and likelihood Tanzania will host one round.
Okay.
So we are just... Those are the 3 countries with
facilities. So that's something. So that's something which is another great thing, because that's going to be a World Cup qualifier in Hong Kong.
Very exciting.
So that's and again, we have had a lot of Hong Kong team playing. I think the atmosphere in the Hong Kong Nepal game that we saw last year was phenomenal.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think we want to see a lot more of that, and we want fans to support Team Hong Kong. And what better way to support than in a World Cup qualifier?
Well, you talk about that one in January. I just want to touch on that international. Can you give us any names to that men's tournament?
No, so I'm there. It's still very early days, as you have seen. We have this little tournament called the Sixes, which is kind of taking up all our energy. But we are. At least I can tell you, I'm starting to talk about December. So we have those arrangements there. January seems a little bit, but we will start.
So we'll talk again in December after the Sixes is done.
But all I'm saying is that we have been very, very. Other boards have been supported. We had teams like a World Cup ODI team like Canada come through. We had Nepal and PNG come through before they went in. So we will have there will be quality teams coming in.
Well, that Canada tournament, we had 3 players ever that have done a T20I 4 over maiden.
Yep.
So the captain of Canada and Ayush Shukla are two of the three players that have
That's right,
ever
the other-
bowled 24.
The other one's
balls.
the Kiwi fella.
Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
remember his name.
So that's the quality of players we're getting.
And before that, again, just to show, just to know how busy we are. In October, we are playing in the Emerging Asia Cup, which is
That's the under 23s from
no,
Pakistan.
it's 8 teams.
No, 18.
So
right.
it used to be under
Used to be-
23, but
right.
ACC has made it 8 teams now.
Oh, okay.
Teams do tend to pick younger players, but you see a lot of future stars. There's no restriction of under 23s anymore. It's you can send anyone who is considered as your A player. So you have India A, Pakistan A, Sri Lanka A, Bangladesh A, Afghanistan A, and you have Hong Kong, UAE, and Oman. And that is because we came third place in the ACC Premier
Yeah,
Tournament.
yeah.
So that was
And when's that? October.
that's in October.
Goodness, there's so much international cricket coming up.
And before that tournament, I can also say we are actually playing Afghanistan A, Sri Lanka A, Oman, and Hong Kong is playing a quadrangular
Where?
in Oman.
In Oman?
Yeah. So that hopefully prepares us for the Emerging Asia Cup. But
I can't believe you can remember it all. There's so much going on.
no,
This is
but
amazing.
the fact is, Hong Kong men's will be playing Afghanistan and Sri Lanka
Yeah.
team. Their A teams is
Yeah.
is great. We're doing incredibly well in the World Cup T20 World Cup qualifiers. We've got 2 more games to go. Hopefully, we'll win them both and go to the next round. But I think there's a lot of positives here. There's a lot of cricket, definitely for the men's team, and hopefully, right after that, they come in sixes and they go to Uganda. There's just so much.
Now, and
cricket for the players.
quality opposition makes the team better.
Yes.
I've talked about how Virendeep Singh went off to the Caribbean,
Yep.
the captain of Malaysia. And our team, they're not going to do that with everyone going around, but playing against these constantly good opposition just makes the team better.
It is, exactly. And that's what we are trying. We are trying to give them as much opportunity as possible. How much ever support we get, where we can get to play cricket, we are playing cricket. And that's what we are trying our best to support the team.
Ravi, I'll link this back. I mean, obviously, a lot of international cricket coming up. Sixers, just super exciting. A lot of international cricket means a lot of the men's squad will be away, so they'll miss part of the domestic season. There's been some rule changes around player eligibilities for teams on Sundays, I understand, because of that, or I'm not sure if it's because of that, but there's been a change anyway as far as eligibility between divisions are concerned.
It's between Saturday and Premier League. So Sundays, so usually the concept has always been that you can play Saturday and Premier, or you can play Premier and Sunday,
Yeah,
but you can't play all 3.
yeah.
And I think we still are sticking to that. But what we are doing is, so even now, based on current schedules, most of all of Premier League happens when our players are here, when our Hong Kong players are in town, and that's probably a lot of people keep asking what's the difference between Sunday cricket, Sunday Elite League, and Premier League, and
Well, I do.
yeah, and to me the difference is Premier League is domestic cricket and Elite League is the best quality of club cricket. So Elite League goes ahead when the national players are playing, and Premier League we do everything we can to play it when the national players are here.
So what I understood, and I could be wrong, but when it was first announced,
Won't be the first time.
Easy Tiger, for the second time in this interview, a player that plays in Division 2, so Kowloon Cricket Club has 2 teams, one
Yes.
in the top,
Talk about
one in
Sunday League.
Sunday Elite,
That's right.
right?
Yes, yeah.
A player that's playing Sunday Elite 2, which would be the Infidels
In
for Kowloon,
KCC, yeah.
can go up and play for the Templars, I think, twice in a season.
So they I think they have to. So Templars name a squad,
Yes.
right? And in the squad, if they have more than a certain number of players out because they are not playing for Hong Kong,
Yeah.
then they can bring in certain players from the Infidels up to the squad. However, if the players are back, and those players have to go back down.
Gotcha. So, I mean, that's very
That's a good
positive.
system.
That's very positive. That's a really good move because you had, and the same for HKCC and
Yeah.
LSW as well,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you have players landlocked in the second team.
Yeah.
If they're able to move in to fill in for those international players whilst they're away, again, that's just
Well,
great.
it's just
for the
juniors
game
going
Hong
in to
Kong.
fill in
Well, yeah,
previously,
juniors
right?
can play across
Yes,
anywhere,
that's
but
what
now
it
it's the
was, but
seniors
now like
as well.
someone like Mokan can go up.
Correct.
Exactly. You want, you want to maintain the standard in
Yes.
Sunday Elite, and that's what this rule is doing.
Yeah.
we want our best players outside of the national team to play Sunday Elite Division 1.
Yep.
And the Premier League is best players including the national players.
Yep.
So that's the two
No.
big difference. I know we probably have not marketed that or given what we are trying to do as well as we would like to, and this is where I request you guys to help try to explain. This is why there's a difference. This is why when we play Premier League, we have 3 umpires, we have the third umpire, we have, and eventually not this season, but I want TV umpires in Premier League.
Yeah.
Because we want to bring Premier League as close to
Well, I did hear.
international
Did I hear
standard
a
as possible.
rumor that we're working on getting run-out camps?
Yes, we are. That is a broadcast meeting stuff.
I'm a broadcaster.
Yeah,
so that's what I
exactly.
want to
So
know about.
that's
I don't
not
care
for this
about 3
podcast.
umpires.
We know what turns bushy on. Anything to do with broadcasting.
So those things, and the match referees, we want to bring them in for Premier League. But for Sunday, we keep the traditional club cricket format, 2 umpires. It's. I don't want to call it social, but it's more club cricket.
No,
So that's the difference.
I think what's
but
really
it's great standard. The standard is the highest level, and we're not trying to compromise on the standard. It's just a little distinction that helps us differentiate the leagues. That's basically.
I think what's really important for us to understand, and everyone who listens to these podcasts to understand, is Cricket Hong Kong China is working across so many levels. The positives of the international events coming to Hong Kong, the men's and women's internationals in and out of Hong Kong as far as the World Cup qualifiers and other events around it, but in no way have forgotten the domestic league, which feeds those, right from the junior challenge, from the challenge league areas, if you like, to the juniors areas, both boys and girls, pushing up through. I think it's really important everyone understands how much work goes into that on all those different levels.
100%, and we have not even spoken about we spoke about the men's tours, but we have not even spoken about the women's that are playing busy schedule, as well as the youth pathway stuff. So, I mean, if you notice, even in the Youth All-Stars last season, we pushed it from the T20 format to a longer format.
Yeah.
Because I think that's very, very important. We want the youth to play 50-over cricket as much as possible. There are a lot of... Definitely, we have not forgotten, and that's why we have to ensure we are a small team, as Bushy knows that, we try to do... We are pushing... we are punching way above our
I
grade
don't
level for
understand
sure.
how you can all do it. There's only a handful of people.
No doubt.
But we are trying to. We want to address everything. Every cricket is important from under 11s to the national team, and I think we are trying our best to do that, and we really appreciate the support that you guys give us to try to explain our point of view and help us sell what we are trying to do.
Ravi, it's an absolute pleasure, and you're always welcome here. Sometimes we'll have debates, sometimes we'll have discussions. We won't always agree, but look, I just want to say on behalf of us and the supporters, congratulations. Everything is just pushing in the right direction. The Sixers could not be more excited about it. Can't wait to see you've announced New Zealand, about to announce Sri Lanka. Of
It
course,
should
Hong Kong
be
will
in a
there.
couple of hours now.
Yeah, okay.
beautiful.
So it's going to beat the
So we're
podcast now.
recording this Thursday.
Yeah, you've come
afternoon.
down in the middle of a typhoon and given up 30 minutes of what seems like you don't have just for doing this podcast. So we thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Cheers, Ravi.
Thank you, guys.
It's time for Outs and Ends, a full wrap of senior cricket games in Hong Kong from last weekend. Here's Botters.
Saturday League, there was no games, but Sunday League got underway. 1 match in Division 1, 1 match in Division 2. Div 1 got underway. Good win for Pakistan Association. A massive win, actually.
Massive.
Over
Smashed
USAC Vagabonds. Did well to stay up last year.
Yeah,
the
well, I
Vagabonds.
only just stayed up and it proved it in game 1.
Yeah, they got absolutely belted. They got how many did they score? 118 or 119?
Depends on what Cricket Hero says, because it's on both. This is our confusion starting the season.
Bit of teething problems with Crick Heroes.
Pac Elite didn't even have Yasim and Zishan.
No.
Oh, speaking of, we didn't put it in the intro. You know who else was missing off the transfer list was Nazrullah Runner.
Where's he gone?
Well, I've heard he's going across USRC, but he's not on the transfer list.
No, but he went in the middle of last season to
He
USRC.
did, but he
That's
wasn't
all.
allowed-
He wasn't allowed to play.
Wasn't allowed
no
to
one
transfer,
signed it
but
off.
they still haven't put the paperwork in, because everything I read out was paperwork.
He
Anyway,
was away on tour. Anyway, good win for PACC. They're off to a good start without some of the big names.
top of the table.
Division 2, and there was a game in Division 2, Bushy.
It was the Sri Lanka club Lions versus our favourites, the Disruptors,
Yeah.
the CHK Dragons, out at PKVR Park up the top. And the Lions all bowled out for 148 in the 42nd over.
Ouch.
Yeah. In that, I need to just mention quickly, Henry Hsu, their opening bowler,
Yeah.
got 1 for 25.
Yeah.
that one wicket took him to 100 career wickets for the CHK Dragons.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard back from the captain, Jason. I messaged him. I wanted to find out if that's the first Dragon to get to 100.
Yeah.
Don't know, but he got to 100. So well done, Henry. You got a little trophy as well presented
good
to
on
him.
Oh,
Fantastic
well done.
effort.
Congratulations.
So they got that, and then of course they went and batted and smashed them.
Oh, good on Dragons.
149 for 4 and 33.3, top of the table in Division 2.
That's a good start for the Dragons. Very good start. They can beat the Lions twice this year. They'll be going well right up in the mid-table. Congratulations to the Dragons. That's it. There was just the 2 games, Bushy. That's it for Outs and Ends.
It's time for Ins and Outs, with all the weekend senior games covered. Here's Butters.
All right, time for Ins and Outs. Saturday League getting underway as well as more Sunday League fixtures. Bushy, let's go. Who we got this weekend?
Up first, Saturday Championship Division 1 out at Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground. It is IRC Charlie Bears versus USRC Lions.
Yeah, I think Lions are the promoted team, I think, aren't they? Yeah,
If only there was a podcast that went through every game last season.
that's
and
right.
Remember,
No. I'm going to tip the Charlie Bears in that one.
Charlie Bears still in the never ever. Big win for the upgraded Lions, I say.
Might be the Tigers who got promoted. I can't remember. It was one of them.
Yeah, I'm going for the Lions. Next,
What's next up?
Div 2 on
Yeah,
Saturday.
Yeah.
Out at GDB. Kaitak versus Diasqua Little Saiwan leaders.
Yeah, both of them would have been disappointed not earning promotion last season. I'm going to tip Kaitak in this one.
Oh, just to mix it up, I'll go with the leaders.
All right.
Even though we went through all that transfer and Diasqua Little Saiwan has no players
That's
left.
right.
Anyway, carrying on, Saturday Championship Div 1 right here at Kowloon Cricket Club. It will be broadcast. It won't have commentary, but the video will be on for the KCC Tartars versus USRC Tigers, the Jordan Derby.
Yeah, the Tartars, defending champions. No, they ran second, didn't they? For the Nomads.
Again,
Yeah.
don't ask me.
Yeah. Anyway,
That was last season.
they'll be winning on the weekend. They'll get their season off on the right foot.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Tartars. For me, up the hill at Hong Kong Cricket Club in Saturday Div 1. The HKCC Nomads take on the SCC Lancers. Now, the Lancers were promoted. weren't
Lancers
they?
promoted, yeah. Nomads will win that in a canter.
I agree. Nomads for me. I think that's it for Saturday.
What about Sunday?
Well, Sunday out at Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground, we have the Hong Kong Cricket Club Wanderers, also promoted into Div 1 in Sunday Elite, versus USRC Elite, obviously missing Imran Arif.
Yeah, and there was they were in a bit of relegation trouble for a while, the Elite. They sat there behind the Vagabonds for a while last year, and I don't see them winning this weekend. I'm going to tip the Wanderers being promoted. I think they'll win first up.
I like the idea of the Wanderers, even though they're not at home, they're being forced to head out to Ting Kwong Road. Let's go with the Wanderers. Same for me. What else have we got? Oh, the reason that the Wanderers have been pushed out to Mission Road is because the big Sunday Elite Division 1 game, the grudge match starting the season for Div 1 for both teams, HKCC Scorpions versus the KCC Templars.
Massive game up there Sunday. Unfortunately, internationals out, but it gives many opportunities to others. Oh, I think this could go either way. Toss of the coin, bit of weather around. Who knows? You might not get the full 50 overs in.
Well, you say that plenty of internationals around. Is there anybody perhaps in town to help fill up the Templars?
Oh, I'm not really sure about that. Young fella might have spent a bit of time in England. Might have a run up there on the weekend. Let's see. Might have the gloves, might not.
We
Who
already
knows?
had Ravi being very, very coy about things. That's as coy as it will get.
Anyway, you know who I'm tipping. I'm tipping the Templars.
Well, if the Templars have the name Botfield, J on the team on Sunday, we'll see how it goes. Scorps are obviously missing half the side. I'll go with the Templars myself. I think that's it for this weekend.
That is it, and we are underway. Last weekend, this weekend, the season has begun, Bushy. All right, there she is, the big bird. That means it's time for Sky Plaza Road, a place I have spent a lot of time in recently, Bushy, in and out of here.
I went out and about once over the off-season, had my 7 days off
It's a
from
lovely
the season.
place now. It's a lovely place out there, post-COVID. Geez, I still love Hong Kong Airport, Sky Plaza Road. Absolutely
Nice. Always
beautiful.
nice being home.
Hong
And,
Kong men's team's out up and about, mate.
Yeah, they've
down in
been
Malaysia.
home for a while. They had that tournament, the Tri-Nations tournament, Malaysia, Kuwait, and Hong Kong, China.
Didn't do very well for mine in that warm-up.
Yeah, it was a bit iffy. I mean, thrashed Malaysia twice, easy, but gave up 2 huge run chases and lost to Kuwait.
3 times.
Yeah.
Twice
And then the final, they belted us in like 14 overs.
Yeah, I know. It didn't really sit that well with me. I'm just hoping it's one of those situations where they are warming themselves into it for these qualifiers, which are now underway, and they're doing very well at so far.
Well, the one thing I found with that, there was a tournament in Malaysia, but it was hosted by Kuwait Cricket Club. For the first time in a long time, I was so happy with the batting, but the bowling wasn't there. Normally, we're a really good bowling team, and we just sort of fall apart with the bat. But we can bat now.
Yeah, but you say that. Most of the runs were coming from a couple of people. There were a couple of people missing out. I mean, Martin missed out every time he went out.
Yeah.
Nazaka, sensational. Bubba, very good. Zishan Ali, we've seen.
Now we're going to talk more about him into
shooting the lights out.
the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
But
no, I agree what you're saying, but there's areas
we
okay.
couldn't defend a large total.
No, that's right.
So we go into the World Cup qualifiers, and the way the schedule's been run, look, there's 3 teams in this, and the rest are there making up the numbers. We know that. Malaysia, Kuwait, Hong Kong, China are the top 3. 2 go through.
Look, Singapore can possibly cause an upset. They got very close to Malaysia within a run. But, yes, it is down to 3, you'd think. Right?
We got robbed by rain against Singapore. We put 201 on the board, and we only ended up winning by 23 runs.
Yeah, but Malaysia only beat them by 1 run.
Yeah,
they should have won. They threw it away.
Malaysia's the iffy side for once instead of us.
I know. It's interesting to see, isn't it? I thought Malaysia were going to be all guns blazing, but not so much.
I mean, we played Myanmar, and we didn't bowl them out, which disappointed me, but restricted them to 50 off 20 overs and chased it down in 4.3.
Yeah, it's a shame for Myanmar because they thought it was a 50-over game. They were just about to put the foot on the accelerator, and then someone reminded it was a T20.
Myanmar scored 75 against Malaysia, and it took them almost 10 overs to chase that one down. We were just looking, new world record set, equal world record set today as we're recording. Singapore against Mongolia, bowled them out for 10.
Outrageous. Mongolia all out for 10.
Talk about a net run rate boost for Singapore.
How many balls did it take?
5.
5 balls.
5 balls.
Didn't finish an over.
Nah.
I haven't checked that, but that will be the world record, I'm sure, of the quickest chase in the history of T20 internationals. You're not the greatest advert of the game. Poor Mongolians.
And
a couple of bad decisions, though, maybe.
And the big game for Hong Kong China fans today, Thursday, we're recording September 5, was the Malaysia-Kuwait game.
Yeah, massive. Malaysia actually getting flogged by Kuwait. Kuwait ran down 149 very easily in the 16th over, which means that Hong Kong play Malaysia the next game.
Yep.
If Hong Kong China win that,
yep,
through to the next level. Through.
Saturday, September 7, 1:45 p.m. It will be live on ICC TV. Make sure you tune in. Malaysia, with their captain back in the team. It's not the same Malaysia side that we played in the Tri-Nations because Virendeep Singh's back and he's scoring runs. It can be dangerous. We need to be on our guard. But if we win that, the last game against Kuwait really doesn't matter too much apart from pride.
That's right.
But if we lose against Malaysia, then we no doubt have to beat Kuwait.
It'll be game on, and we've lost the last 3 times we've played against them. So this Malaysia game really is a must-win to take the pressure off the boys, and I think they're good enough. And to get through, I mean, it's quite interesting now with the qualifiers, Bushy, because the next level, Oman and Nepal are already sitting there waiting, as is PNG. So they've combined Asia and East Asia Pacific. So there's 3 spots available. Oman, Nepal, PNG already there. 2 will go through. Let's hope it's Hong Kong and probably Kuwait, looking at the results. They go in there. Samoa are already in there. There'll be another East Asia Pacific team go in there. And there'll be another qualifier from Asia where 2 teams will go through. You would assume UAE would be one of them. And probably Qatar will be the other one. Could be one of the others. But it's and then they'll be fighting off for 2 spots. In the actual
well, let's
World
talk
Cup.
about a couple of stats for our men's team. They're doing well.
Yeah.
Ahsan Khan, 100 wickets in T20 eyes. First one for Hong Kong ever.
Brilliant.
picked that up.
And he's done it before he's 30.
Yeah, the ageless Ahsan Khan. He's taken 11 wickets. He's top of the wicket takers in this tournament, equal with Yasir Patel.
An outrageously good bowler, and
Yeah.
he's going to be bowling to Sunday League back here.
I want to talk. I really wanted to talk about Ayush Shukla being the only third person ever in T20Is
Outrageous.
to bowl 24 dot balls out of his 4 allotted overs, and included a wicket maiden. Only 3 players have ever done it. We mentioned it when we were talking to Ravi. The captain from Canada's done it, and the Kiwi bloke.
Lockie Ferguson was the Kiwi bloke I was
and
trying to think of earlier.
Zafar from Canada. So he did that in that game, and then Assam went and got 4 wickets and got player of the match. So there's that, and also the captain, the cat, Nazaka Khan, brought up his 2000th T20I run during this tournament. So well done to both players.
Oh, look, wonderful achievements, wonderful servants of the game for Hong Kong China. Nazaka, he's had massive highs in his career, and in fairness, he's been out of form in the last 18 months. He's had little periods where he hasn't scored runs, but why hasn't he just stepped up now?
I watched the KCC tournament and then the Q8 Tri-Nations and this one. I've never seen Nazaka's head over the ball as much as I have in these games.
Yeah.
He's just right over the top of the ball. He's seeing it onto the bat and he's making runs.
Yeah.
But while he hasn't set any records as such, the man really making runs is the bloke that's been... So at our openers is not working. Martin Kutsia can't find runs. Even if he gets a start, he runs himself out or gets run out. But so they've bumped up Zishan Ali, and that man is a run-making machine.
Well, over the last 12 months, 18 months on air and off air and on podcast and off podcast, we've discussed who's the best keeper for Hong Kong, right? For Hong Kong China, who's the best keeper? And I'm going to give you credit, and I don't give it much, right? You have been 100% always in Zishan Ali's court. I, to be honest with you, I haven't. I've had the question marks there. Man, hasn't he proved himself?
Yeah.
At the moment,
With the gloves, he's great, but with
solid
the
as.
bat...
I know. He's just gone to another level altogether.
The current team has Jamie Atkinson over there from KCC, opening batter with the gloves as well. He's in the field taking catches because Zishan's got the number one job. Fair enough. He's had it and he's kept it and he's batting and opening. And Jamie's yet to fire. I'm hoping against Malaysia that's his game where he's going to really start firing. But Zishan doesn't care. He's scoring 50s and 60s off 30, 40 balls every game. He is the reason we're scoring so much. And that's where we go back to the point where I was talking where the bowling is where... I mean, Zishan, I don't know how many stumpings he's also done in these tournaments as well. His glove work's been brilliant. He's just been, for mine, player of the series for both games.
Yeah.
For both series.
Look, we got through the minnows. Singapore was a potential speed hump. Got through that off the back of massive innings from Zishan and supported by others, of course, as well. But the big game against Malaysia is coming up, and Q8 potentially as well, depending on the Malaysia result. So, look, it's all to play for there for the boys. And there's so much international cricket you would have heard earlier in the interview with Rabi coming up, and none more important than the Challenge League in November, which is the qualifiers for the 50-over World Cup.
Yep, so all the players are fighting to get into this side, playing a million international games, and it's brilliant for Hong Kong, China, and the team itself.
Yeah, it really is, and so much to look forward to for the rest of this season, Bushy, on an international level. That's it for Sky Plaza Road, I think, for week one.
Yep.
We'll be back next week with all the results.
If we lose against Malaysia, make sure you tune in on Monday, September 9, because that's the big game.
What time is that?
1:45 p.m.
On Monday.
On Monday, Hong Kong versus Q8 at Bungie.
I will be watching that one if we get beaten by Malaysia. But we won't. We'll get over the top of Malaysia and we'll go through, and that's Sky Plaza Road, first episode, Season 2.
And now it's time for Bushy's birthday bonanza.
No, it's your favourite time and it's my favourite time.
That's
and for the last time I can say this, well, maybe not the last time, but the last time for a while at least.
Yeah.
It's Bushy's birthday bonanza.
Yay, birthdays. Now, we went through all the birthdays in the off-season in the final episode of
There was
Season 1.
hundreds of them.
Yeah, but we did miss one, and it's quite comical, so I want to put it in there.
Okay.
Jamie Atkinson, now over in Malaysia.
Handy cricketer.
Playing for Hong Kong, China, celebrated his 34th birthday on August 24.
Oh, fantastic.
Now, that's fantastic because Cricket Hong Kong, China wished him happy birthday on August 23.
Oh, Bit of confusion.
Yeah, and I went and I saw that post and I went, oh, I'll go WhatsApp Jamie because I've got his number. And I said, happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday, legend. He said, thanks. It's tomorrow, but thanks. And I went, what? That's it. And I showed him the screenshot of Cricket Hong Kong China's post and ESPN Cricket Info, which is obviously where Cricket
August
Hong Kong
23.
China's got a August 23. He goes, yeah, I don't know how that happened. But my passport and my Hong Kong ID definitely says August 24.
Oh,
So
I think he knows best.
well, I think so. So then I wished him happy birthday on the day. And then I saw him the day after and I wished him happy birthday again. So I wished him happy birthday 3 times just to make sure it was one of the 3 days.
Well, you need to keep sweet with Jamie Atkinson. Just as an aside, August 23 is my half birthday. I always try to celebrate that as well. My kids won't really get on board as my half birthday. It's exactly when I'm 6 months. So 52 and 6 months, 51 and 6 months at August 23.
I'm glad you're leaving the podcast.
Is that
You're a
weird?
very weird
Is that
man.
strange?
That's very, very strange.
My wife and children think it's strange as well.
Well, Botters, happy half birthday for August 23,
Thank you,
which
mate.
is not
Thank you.
Jamie Atkinson's
Thank you. I really
birthday.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Day before Jamie's.
Right, let's carry on. Into the new birthdays. On September 2nd, which was just before, there's 2 birthdays.
What a great cricket birthday, September 2nd, because the cut-off for age groups is 31st of August. If you're born in that September, 2nd of September, what a beautiful birthday.
Yeah, I agree because my son got robbed playing Australian football here in Hong Kong because that was a calendar year. He's born in December. And this one, he's one of the older kids.
Who's on 2nd of September?
Anyway, 2 people. Paul To, Cricket Hong Kong China women's player, turned 31. And on the same day, Japs.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to add another one.
Oh,
The 2nd of September, one you've missed out.
go on.
She's not a cricketer yet, but she will be.
Okay.
And she'll probably play for Australia. She could play for Hong Kong. She
Really?
might be a dual player. Lucy Hogg. Tobias Hogg and Sam Hogg, little girl born on the 2nd of September. Congratulations to you as a family. Lucy Hogg, the future cricketer, born on the 2nd of September.
How KCC is it being born on the same day as Matt Chappell, who is celebrating his 55th birthday?
There you go. But great cricket birthdays. Lucy Hogg's got it.
Lucy Hogg's great. Matt Chappell, 55. Have you seen that guy? He's got like 0% body fat. He's like a 20-year-old.
He's quite fit, isn't he?
Anyway, continuing on, September 6 from, well, I'd say Little Saiwan, but who knows if they've transferred or not. Haroon Ashad. He's up at HKCC, isn't he?
Haroon Ashad was LSW, then up to HKCC.
Yeah. So my database is not
Little
quite
bit
up.
Well, you don't need to tell us that.
Yeah. So he had a birthday. He turned 20. He's turning 25 on September 6th, which is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, young man.
On the 9th, I know this is a birthday because I wasn't invited to the party.
Oh, you love a party.
Turning 27, Kowloon Cricket Club's lead keeper now, because the other bloke's over in Malaysia, Chris Carter.
Oh, the second best pilot for Cathay Pacific behind Todd Lingram.
Do you want me to give you a little bit of a heads up?
Yeah, go
if
on.
people are still listening to the podcast this far in,
Yeah, I am.
your replacement next week is birthday boy,
Is that right?
Chris Carter.
Cart's
will be the guest.
Carts is the new Botters.
No, just for the week.
Right, okay.
So he's the guest host next week, and he's got a great My Story guest lined up.
Lovely.
We'll talk more about that next week. Still got some more birthdays. Oh, no, I don't. Yes, I do. Nazrullah Runner, whose team I'm not even going to try to guess. I think it's USRCC
Somewhere between
now. but-
PACC
yeah.
and USRC.
He's turning 22 on September 11, and we'll probably record on the 12th, but I'll give him a shout-out. He's not in town anymore, I don't think. Arush Bhagwat from Kowloon Cricket Club.
Yeah, Arush Bhagwat's been in New Zealand for
Yeah.
years and years and years.
Well, he'll be
but a Hong Kong national player still.
He'll be celebrating his 21st birthday down there in Kiwiland.
Older brother of Path Bhagwat, of course, who's over studying in the US now. Arush Bhagwat, happy birthday.
So, happy birthday, Jamie Atkinson. Botters' half birthday for some reason. Paul To, Matt Chappell, Lucy Hogg. Who else is in there? Did I mention Hassan Muhammad Khan? I think I missed him.
No,
He's
you
turning
didn't.
24.
He got mentioned in the player transfers.
Yeah, well, I've still got him as pack.
Jesus, you've got to work on this database. But I'm going to go, mate. This is going to fall apart.
Hassan Muhammad Khan turning 24 on September 6. Chris Carter, Nazrullah Runner, and Arush Bhagwat. Happy birthday to them all.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Zoe Lee from the HKCC Under 11 Strikers, and you're listening to the 8 for 52 podcast with Butters and Bushy. Bye.
Season 2 of the 8 for 52 podcast. Potters, what a huge episode and such sad news. You're leaving. It's like Oasis breaking up in 1994. We're going to reunite back in like 21 years or something.
I'm looking forward to it already, Bushy.
Oh, my goodness.
As long as I'm alive in 21 years.
Oh, what's going on? You create a podcast and then you leave me.
Well, look, life's got to go on, Bushy, and it's been an absolute pleasure doing this. It really has. It's been wonderful. We've loved every minute of it, and I know a few listeners around the world. Where have we been, actually?
I
Where
can't
have we
even
been?
remember.
Caribbean, Barbados was recent.
There were some African
What
countries.
were those ones in Eastern Europe we had every week?
Croatia or something?
Yeah, Bosnia.
Bosnia-Herzegovina.
That's right.
Yeah. And also that Imran Arif episode that went very large in Western USA.
That's right. Around where Berkshire Hathaway are.
Exactly. It was all the.
We were number 1 in Barbados for half of May, I think it was.
Oh, there's so many random places we were number 1 for 1 week.
Yeah. No, it's been an absolute wonderful trip, mate. It really has. It's a great podcast.
The guests we've had on, just the Hong Kong guests, but also the international guests.
Japan, Nepal.
Yeah, fantastic having them on. And it's just going from strength to strength. I have to thank you so much for putting this together. It was all your idea. I never would have done it. Absolutely thought it was a terrible idea. Too much work. It's still too much work.
Correct.
For the zero pay we get.
Correct.
But we love it, and we love cricket in Hong Kong, so that's why we do it.
There we do, and that's one thing that will not die, Bushy. Yes, I won't be on the podcast, but my love for cricket in Hong Kong will live forever, I can assure you of that. It's been a wonderful thing, and just to contribute, for us to contribute a little bit, we've done some commentary together over the years, and you've taken that to another level altogether, right?
You're the one that got me into broadcasting, and now I'm doing it 5 days a week.
Well, I mean, for those of you who don't know, who are still listening, how that started was Hong Kong were playing in a tournament in Namibia, I think,
it was
at the time.
Tanzania, somewhere down there.
During COVID, where Bushy...
It's 2 a.m.
Bushy is also trip ahead, absolute Twitter extraordinaire, and kept a large part of the population, the expat population, totally informed during COVID, an absolute legend. And I used to follow him, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up watching Hong Kong versus someone in Namibia, about knee-deep in 2.5 bottles of red. And I saw Trip Ahead, aka Bushy, was tweeting about it. And I thought, I'll send him a DM.
Now,
I did send him a DM.
Cricket tragic.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, I do a bit of commentary down for Cricket Hong Kong. Any interest? Within about 30 seconds, he comes back and says, when can we meet?
Yeah.
And before you know it...
Yeah, October 2022, I was down here.
Yeah, before you know it, a beautiful relationship blossomed.
Yep, commentating for KCC, and now I'm commentating everywhere.
Yeah, and now we've got this big podcast running, which I've got to semi-retire from, at least on a weekly basis.
But you're still going to monitor from afar.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm going to be involved in there in the background and stuff. You might hear my dulcet tones every week somewhere.
Yeah, coming up. But you're not going to be here for the Sixers, but... How good was that interview with Ravi about the Sixers?
Yeah, you know what? And I haven't spoken to Mrs. Botters or anyone about that.
Oh, here we go.
I'm seriously thinking about maybe using a bit of freak or fly points, Bushy, and just having a little weekend up here.
I don't want to even hear that conversation between you and Mrs. Botters, but if you do come in, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing some social media stuff for Cricket Hong Kong on that. I'm not broadcasting. I'm not, because they got...
No, it's going to be outsourced.
We can't say, but TCM Sports has got a big company coming in. So the professionals will be there, not the semi-professionals.
But you're going to be there or thereabouts.
I'm going to be doing some stuff for Cricket Hong Kong, China on their Instagram and Facebook, and doing some videos and stuff.
Yeah, but you want to be around the grounds doing a bit of interviews for the podcast as well, right?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there with microphone in hand. Do not worry.
There's going to be some big names coming.
Yep, I'm going to get... Maybe I'll be able to finally get my little PMOA...
Actually, maybe I need to come back here for that weekend on a professional basis to do some of those interviews.
Sure. I'm not paying you.
No, I don't. Well, no one does.
No, I know.
No,
I'm just pointing out that there's no pay there.
I'm just talking professional.
It would be great for the podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
I like how you think.
Work with that.
I like how you think after 5 beers, but still need to have a little chat with Mrs.
We have had a little farewell drink on the way through this podcast.
As
That's
you
all right.
might have noticed, it's slowly degrading, much like this typhoon.
That's all right.
And going into a T8 party early.
Right. But we have had a good podcast, mate. Ravi was fantastic. He really was. I'm just going to shout out that new Instagram address again.
Yep.
It was really important everyone gets across there. 8, then FOR 52, as in 52. So 8 FOR 52 podcast. Get across there. That's the new Instagram account going forward.
We'll plug it on the Twitter, and I'll plug it on my Trip Ahead stuff. So come and join us for the new podcast Instagram. It's been an absolute pleasure, Botters. I think it's probably time to go home before this typhoon turns up.
I think that's our only option, my friend. And it's been an absolute pleasure. And good luck going forward with it. I know you've got some super plans as far as hosts are concerned. With episode 37, let's hope there's another 370 in front of it. That's it for Botters at the 8 for 52 podcast.
See ya.
Hello, good morning. We're tossing a coin to begin. Duckworth, go ahead.
The 8 for 52 theme song is The Coin Toss from the band The Duckworth Lewis Method. Find them on Apple iTunes and YouTube and download that song and all their other cricket-related music.
The 8 for 52 podcast is edited, produced and published by Matt Botfield and Aaron Bush for Trip Ahead Limited.
I think I'll go in for a bat, and that's that.